Here we are, Friday Eve weather for Weather Geeks time. Another pretty busy afternoon in the Weather Center today with a scattering of thunderstorms. And we still have a couple of cells out there this evening, and I'll show you what's going on. When I recorded Weather Geeks at about 7:35 this evening, this is what the sky looked like looking north away from Niles with our Window World weather camera. This was actually a little more impressive about 10 minutes ago, but some very nice sunlit cumulonimbus clouds in northern parts of Trumbull. You can also see off in the northeastern sky, looking away from Mahoning County, you can see up into Mercer County some cumulonimbus clouds. Kind of depends on where your location is, but certainly south of these storms, with the sun shining, it is a picturesque scene. The radar bears out what we're looking at in the sky. Those cumulonimbus clouds are, well, this stuff up here. Nothing real impressive on the radar. A few heavy showers. There was some thunder and lightning earlier, and actually this even produced a severe thunderstorm warning earlier, around 7 o'clock, in Crawford County. This had some downburst winds around Jamestown, right around 6:45, 7 o'clock, but the cell has weakened as it's gone into Mercer County. We're getting into the time of day when, there's not quite as much solar energy to get these things going, so I'm expecting everything to kind of fizzle out here over the next hour or so. A couple of random downpours in Mahoning County from New Middletown up to Poland along 170. And also a quick shower around Struthers and Campbell, just to the southeast of downtown Youngstown. Let me actually do a quick review of where we've been. Here's a look at the last 6 hours. We had some heavy, gusty storms during mid-afternoon across parts of Mahoning and especially Columbiana County. We had, right along the Mahoning-Columbiana border, we had a hail-producing storm for a little while there. It produced a lot of vivid lightning in southeastern Mahoning County, and then it kept on trucking over into Lawrence and Mercer counties, and this actually then congealed into a pretty big, impressive-looking squall line as it continued rolling east through west central PA, and it's producing severe thunderstorm warnings right now out in central parts of PA around Altoona and State College this evening. All right, our high-res futurecast for tonight showing the spotty activity fizzling. There could be a stray shower overnight during the wee small hours. Doubt you'll notice it. Tomorrow morning, very early, right around daybreak, there could be some clouds, but I think the sun's going to break out pretty quickly on your Friday, and temperatures will blast off. All right, we're halfway through the month, believe it or not, and here's a review of the first half of June, running 3.2 degrees above average because we've made up a lot of ground since that very cool stretch of weather last week. Seems like a distant memory now, but we only had 63 for a high on back-to-back days on the 6th and 7th. But ever since last Friday, we've really just flipped right into midsummer here with 80s since last Friday, including a 92, a record setter a couple of days ago on Tuesday. Precipitation-wise, it has been dry. Now, the airport did not pick up as much rain as some other locations today, but 7/100ths as of the official climate report at about 5:15 this afternoon, giving us only about a quarter of an inch for the first half of the month. It's a good thing we had a fair amount of rain back in April and May, or we'd really be talking about things drying up. So we could use some rain. We're not slipping into a drought or anything. Again, we had a pretty wet start to the month, or to the spring season, I should say. But we don't want this pattern to continue for much longer, that's for sure. So I do think it will turn a little more active over the next several days, including for parts of the weekend. Here we are halfway through June. Quick review of meteorological summer. Here on the 15th, our average high is 78. We'll climb 4 more degrees before we reach the mountaintop of our average highs for the calendar year. 82 is that peak here in Youngstown, and we have that for much of the month of July. Those averages only very, very slowly start going down in the month of August. We only lose 3 degrees off the averages in the month of August. So even though the peak is in July, August is typically still a very, very warm month. All right, so tomorrow turns out to be a nice and sunny day. This front is a sorry excuse for a front. The only impact this is going to have on us is the dew points, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Maybe I didn't grab that graphic. But anyway, dew points tomorrow will drop down into the 50s in some places. Now, you may or may not notice that. It's going to be 88 degrees tomorrow afternoon, the blazing sunshine. It's going to be hot. But you may notice that the air is a little less soupy by the afternoon. Weekend looks to start mostly dry. Now, I can't rule out, with a little disturbance coming through, I can't rule out a passing thunderstorm Saturday afternoon. Small chance, though. I've only got a 20% chance in our 7-day forecast. Our focus for the weekend remains Father's Day. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. Strong cold front approaching from the west. I think the timing on thunderstorms on Sunday is about lunchtime onwards, and that's a fairly favorable time. It's going to heat up ahead of this front. Distinct air mass change behind it, so that's a recipe for some stronger storms. So the weekend forecast looks like this: 91 Saturday, 88 Sunday. That 88, that'll be too high if the rain comes in faster. But if the rain holds off until 1, 2 in the afternoon, we can get to 88 before the rain arrives. So it clouds up on Sunday for Father's Day. If you have plans with Dad, if you're hitting the golf course, you got a grilling out planned, any sort of patio party planned, sorry about this. Not a great day for it, especially the farther into the afternoon we get. So our severe weather threats are ramped up on Sunday. This could be one of our bigger severe weather risks of the season so far. Number one risk being damaging wind gusts, but there could be some hail-producing storms as well, and a very low chance of any tornadic activity. All right, let me grab our web browser here. Quick look at the European long-range modeling here. After a warm stretch, here's the 4 to 11 day outlook, I should say. Looking cool, I should say, cooler. Now, this looks a little deceiving. You see all that blue, and oh, it's going to be chilly. No, it's mostly just kind of back to normal in that 4 to 8 day period, especially middle of next week. After that, the model's been waffling this week on the end of June and the start of July. A few days ago, it looked like it would really heat up for a few days at the end of June. Not so much on the latest modeling. It looks seasonably warm, but nothing unusual for the end of June. So that means, there'll probably be a lot of days close to 80. But I don't see in this set of data a lot of extreme heat. I also don't see much on the other end, real super chilly weather. So as we go deeper into the longer range, this set of modeling suggests that it's kind of ho-hum, temperature-wise, as we head towards the 4th of July, with the heat pretty much centered out here in the middle of the country. The heat compared to average, anyway. It's supposed to be hot in July, but this is all, of course, compared to average. That was the European modeling. GFS, kind of a similar idea here. Here's the 7 to 13 day outlook. Heat centered southwest into the middle of the country. Kind of ho-hum temperature-wise here, so it looks pretty seasonable right now to wrap up the month of June and start July. But as I said, the model's been waffling a little bit as we go into the longer range. So I'll have another update on this. Probably Monday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching tonight. I'll keep you updated on the radar throughout this evening, and check out my full updated 7-day forecast tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock.